The Texas Department of Agriculture, or TDA, welcomes you to the 2013 Summer Food Service Program Overview and Eligibility Training. This module will provide an overview of the Summer Food Service Program and eligibility requirements. This training highlights only some of the program requirements and does not cover the entire program. It is your responsibility to make sure you know and understand all of the program rules and requirements. TDA provides links to the USDA program guidance and additional program information through posts on the summerfood.org website. In this first module, you will learn about the program's intent, purpose, and benefits, state agency responsibilities, contracting entity eligibility and responsibilities, participant eligibility, the Texas Unified Nutrition Programs System, or TXUNPS, program reimbursement rates, and additional resources available to assist you with program compliance. Throughout this training, the following acronyms are frequently used: TDA for Texas Department of Agriculture, SFSP for Summer Food Service Program, USDA for United States Department of Agriculture, CE for Contracting Entity or Sponsor. TDA uses the term CE to refer to the contracting relationship responsible for administering the SFSP. Instead of CE, USDA uses the term sponsor. These terms are interchangeable. VCA for Viability, Capability, and Accountability. AGS for the USDA Administrative Guidance for Sponsors. Page numbers within the AGS will be provided for additional information regarding specific training topics during the live instructor trainings. FBG for the Food Buying Guide, ADP for Average Daily Participation, SFA for School Food Authority, FSMC for Food Service Management Company. The Summer Food Service Program was created to provide nutritious meals to children in low-income areas who are age 18 and younger during the summer months when school is not in session. School districts and other CEs sponsor meal service sites where the children receive and consume the meals. The meals must meet nutritional guidelines, and the meal service sites must also meet specific eligibility criteria. The program is designed to provide supplemental reimbursement to offset some of the costs of providing these meals. Therefore, CEs should not expect to make a profit when operating this program. The main benefit of the SFSP is that children in low-income areas have access to nutritious meals during the summer months. Additional benefits of the program are that it helps families stretch their food buying dollar and provides children with the nutrition necessary to keep them healthy so they return to school ready to learn. SFSP serves far fewer children during the summer than are reached by the National School Lunch Program during the school year. In Texas, 27% of children are food insecure, and 2.8 million children are eligible to participate in child nutrition programs, such as the National School Lunch Program and SFSP. In 2012, over 2.3 million total meals were served through summer nutrition programs in Texas, with an average of 322,000 lunches served daily. Despite the seemingly large numbers, summer nutrition programs reached only 11.5% of program-eligible children in Texas. This is why CE participation is so greatly valued. TDA has specific responsibilities in the administration of SFSP. TDA ensures program reimbursements based on creditable meals served, provides outreach materials, training, and technical assistance, distributes USDA foods or commodities, and ensures CEs are compliant with program regulations. Program compliance is a major focus for TDA in order to ensure SFSP funds are spent responsibly and program rules and regulations are followed. TDA takes the partnership with RCEs seriously, and to help ensure they have the support to successfully operate the program, TDA has technical assistance specialists at regional offices throughout Texas. Technical assistance specialists can be contacted by calling 1-877-TEX-MEAL or 1-877-839-6325. Phone numbers for the TDA regional offices are provided at the end of this video. To become a CE and participate in the program, a business must be a nonprofit school, residential or non-residential day camp, college or university participating in the National Youth Sports Program, an organization with 501c tax-exempt status, or unit of local, county, municipal, state, or federal government. All private nonprofit organizations must provide proof of tax-exempt status during the application process. Let's assume that you've made the decision to become a CE. What's the process for becoming an SFSP-CE, and what are the responsibilities? Applications to become an SFSP-CE must be submitted and approved by TDA before a sponsor can become eligible for reimbursement. When applying to be an SFSP-CE, new CE applicants must complete the VCA checklist and provide the required documentation. The information on this checklist demonstrates to TDA your ability to meet the VCA requirements at all times by demonstrating financial and administrative capability. As a CE, you are required to maintain a nonprofit food service while providing a year-round public service to the area you've designated for the meal service. All CEs must agree to provide a regularly scheduled meal service meeting the program requirements. All program funds must be used for allowable expenditures with the purpose of operating or improving the meal service. All program expenditures must be on a pre-approved budget. The funds must also be documented separately from other organization funds. As an SFSP-CE, you are also required to exercise management control over all sites. Management control includes conducting site visits and reviews, determining site eligibility for sites and participants, monitoring site operations, training all staff and volunteers on their program responsibilities and civil rights, performing outreach and marketing of the program and sites, and submitting and substantiating claims. Under no circumstances can a CE contract or pay another business or company to oversee the management responsibilities of the program. These management responsibilities include meal preparation or ordering, record-keeping responsibilities, submitting and substantiating claims, training all program staff and volunteers, promoting the program and availability of meals to the media and community, and monitoring all sites. A CE is ultimately responsible for all program activity at all sites as well as for the overall management of the SFSP. To take part in the program, children must be 18 years old or younger. There is an exemption for persons over 18 years old who are determined to have a mental or physical disability. To participate in the program, participants over 18 must take part in a special school course during the year. Documentation to verify the disability and course participation are required to prove a participant's program eligibility. The Texas Unified Nutrition Program System, TXUNPS, is an online system TDA has implemented to operate nutrition programs. TXUNPS automates many time-consuming manual processes by giving CEs the program documents and tracking progress. Through TXUNPS, CEs can submit application packets, file claims, submit program changes, and manage programs, allowing for increased accuracy and faster processing times. While the application to become an SFSP-CE will be submitted through TXUNPS, additional required documents and forms will also be submitted outside of TXUNPS by mail, email, or fax. TXUNPS training videos and instructions have been created and are available online at texasagricculture.gov/TXUNPS-training/index.html. CEs without access to the Internet can call 1-877-TEX-MEAL or 1-877-839-6325. Remember, though, TXUNPS is the best resource for filing applications, program changes, and claims because the online system provides the quickest turnaround timeframes. TXUMPS streamlines the application and claims process for multiple food and nutrition programs. Breaking news for the nutrition programs utilizing TXUMPS is posted at the top of the web page. The news section is updated frequently, and it is the responsibility of every CE to check the website often in order to keep up with the latest news. TXUMPS training videos and instructions are also available on the website. The site address is txumps.texasagriculture.gov. Under the TXUMPS news section is a large red button. The red button is the data link to the data entry portion of TXUMPS. The data entry portion is where program application, amendments, and claims are submitted. An important note to remember when submitting information in TXUMPS is that clicking Save does not submit information. Clicking both Save and Finish is required when submitting information. The Resources section provides a link to valuable program resources, including TXUMPS training videos and instructions, a TXUMPS access form, getting started information, and the TXUMPS user guide. TXUMPS is a secure system. It is important that anyone within an organization who needs access to TXUMPS complete an FND 101 access form. TDA does not allow the sharing of usernames and passwords. Sharing a username and password jeopardizes the security of the TXUMPS system by allowing an unauthorized person to access secure information. Any CE that shares username and passwords will be put into the serious deficiency process and may risk removal from SFSP participation. Additional TXUMPS training videos and links to program-specific information are available through the TXUMPS resources link as well as the SFSP links. The training is not part of the mandatory program training, but aids in the use of TXUMPS. To access the TXUMPS data entry site, click the large red button on the TXUMPS programs site or go directly to txumps1.texasagriculture.gov/TXUMPS. Once at the site, log on with the TDA assigned username and password. If a username and password is needed, a Form FND 101 must be completed and submitted to TDA. Access information is sent via email within 5 TDA business days. TXUMPS is a secure system. It is important that anyone within an organization who needs access to TXUMPS complete a FND 101 access form. TDA does not allow the sharing of usernames and passwords. Sharing a username and password jeopardizes the security of the TXUMPS system by allowing an unauthorized person to access secure information. Any CE who shares usernames and passwords will be put into the serious deficiency process and may risk removal from SFSP participation. As a CE, once you've successfully logged into the TXUMPS data site, you have access to the application packet and you can submit the annual audit certification and download forms. You can also request advances if you meet the criteria. Keep in mind that advances can only be requested after your application is approved by TDA. From the application menu, you can click on Application Packet to complete or view your SFSP application. The first screen provides a glimpse of your application, not the entire form. This is a good place to review your CE information to ensure all the data is accurate and current. Once you've entered the application packet, you can see your application status and completeness. When completing your application, if your information from last year populated the new application, make sure to verify information is correct and current. Under the column Form Name, you will see either green checks or red arrows. The green checks mean that part of the application is complete and the status is provided. The red arrows indicate that part of the application is incomplete and or not submitted. These sections need to be completed and submitted before the application is considered finished and submitted for TDA approval. Remember that when entering information in TXUMPS, you must click both Save and Finish in order to submit that information. Once all items are correctly entered and you have green checks next to each application item, click the red Submit for Approval button at the bottom. A box will pop up and ask if you are sure you want to submit the information. If you are confident in your application and are ready to submit it to TDA for approval, click OK. Your application will then be submitted for approval. You will not receive a letter of approval from TDA, so check back frequently for your application status through TXUMPS. If during the approval period you wish to withdraw your application, return to this window and click the Withdraw Packet button. If you are certain you want to withdraw your application, click OK in the pop-up box. Your application will be withdrawn from the approval process. In addition to the electronic application, you are required to submit supplemental documentation to verify how your organization meets VCA. These documents can be submitted through postal mail, email, or fax. This web page will provide you with a summary of the status of the checklist items in the approval process. You will see the total number of items required for the application, the number of items submitted to TDA, and the number of items approved. This is a quick way to ensure your documents have been received by TDA. Not all checklist items apply to all CEs. In cases where a checklist item is not applicable to your organization, you will have to check the box next to the item. The SFSP checklist screen provides more detail regarding the supplemental documentation. The documents required are listed individually along with the date the documents were submitted through TXUMPS and their individual status. Check here often to ensure TDA has received and approved your supplemental documentation. Applications submitted through TXUMPS are processed faster than paper applications. If you do not have access to the Internet, paper applications are available by calling 877-TEX-MEAL or 877-839-6325. If you are interested in requesting an advance at any time during the program period, your application must be received by TDA by March 15, 2013. Keep in mind that if your organization is interested in requesting an advance and you are a private nonprofit organization, your organization's key officers and board of directors must submit to a background check conducted by TDA. Background checks do not apply to SFAs and governmental CEs. New applicants and returning CEs who have had serious deficiencies and who are not interested in requesting an advance must submit their applications by April 15, 2013. Submitting your application before April 15th has several advantages. Early application provides a greater chance of site approval, enables you to receive your outreach materials sooner, allows adequate time for your organization to handle any application issues prior to starting operations, and increases the availability of high-demand USDA foods. Returning CEs in good standing must submit their applications by May 1, 2013. Incomplete applications and documentation will delay the approval or denial of your application. If additional application information or clarification is requested by TDA, do not alter any already submitted information that is not pertinent to the request, because this will significantly delay your application's approval. If program changes occur, submit the changes after the original application has been approved through an amendment in TXUMPS. Make sure you have carefully planned the dates of your SFSP service and have entered those dates correctly on your application. You may not claim SFSP reimbursement for any dates or sites outside those on your approved application. Only reimbursable meals served during approved dates and at approved sites are eligible for reimbursement. Advances are payments provided to offset startup costs, and they must be repaid. If you want to apply for an advance during the program period, the program application must be submitted by March 15, 2013. CEs who submit their program application after March 15, 2013 will not be eligible to request an advance. Requests for advances cannot be submitted until after an application is approved. Advances can only be used for allowable operating and administrative costs. It is important to remember that an advance is like a loan, and the advance amount will be deducted from the next claim reimbursement until the entire advance has been repaid. For example, if you receive a June advance, you must submit a June claim before an August advance will be issued. First-time CEs are limited to $40,000 in advance funds, and all other CEs are limited to the amount they successfully administered the previous year. Any CE planning to request an advance is subject to a background check. TDA must be notified of any changes to your program operations. Changes are submitted through TXUMPS by way of program amendments. TDA encourages you to submit program amendments as soon as you become aware of the needed change. Changes would include things such as changing a site's meal times, opening or closing a site, or increasing or decreasing your ADP. ADP changes will affect your claims, therefore, TDA recommends submitting ADP amendments before the end of the month in which the change occurs. It is important to file amendments that affect claims in a timely manner. For example, you experience an increase in the number of meals served during a claim period, and you submit an amendment to raise your ADP on the 18th of that month. ADP amendments must be submitted before the end of the claim period, but you cannot claim meals that exceed your monthly ADP cap prior to that amendment approval. If your amendment is not submitted before the end of the claim period, the requested changes will not take effect until the following claim period. To continue with the example, if the claim period is June 2013, and if the amendment is not filed before the 30th of the month, the changes will not be approved for the month of June. Instead, the changes will become effective for the next claim period if applicable, and you will not be able to claim the meals served over the number you were allowed before the new changes were submitted. Here are the most current combined reimbursement rates for all approved meals served in the program. For rural or self-preparation sites, the rate for each breakfast served to an eligible child is $1.98. Lunch and supper is $3.47 per child, and each snack is 82 cents per child. The rates for urban and vended meal sites are breakfast $1.94.25, lunch and supper $3.41.25, and snacks are 80 cents. As the listed rates indicate, the funding provided through this program is intended only to supplement or offset the costs of providing nutritious meals to children in need rather than generate program profits. The total reimbursement rates for each meal are divided into administrative rates and operating rates. By using the breakout rates to determine your administrative and operating anticipated reimbursements, you will be able to prepare your program budget more accurately. Operating rates are the same for all site types. For breakfast, the rate is $1.80. For lunch and supper, the rates are $3.14, and snack is 73 cents. Administrative rates vary by site and meal production type. Rural or self-preparation site rates for each breakfast served to an eligible child is 18 cents. Lunch and supper are 33 cents per child, and each snack is 9 cents per child. The administrative rates for urban and vended meal sites are breakfast 14.25 cents, lunch and supper 27.25 cents, and snacks 7 cents. Understanding the rate structure will help you calculate your anticipated reimbursement. Reimbursements are based on the number of reimbursable meals served multiplied by the administrative and operational rates. Operating rates are direct expenses related to providing the meal service such as plates, cups, napkins, trash removal, etc. Administrative costs are expenses related to managing the program, such as administrative labor costs, including budgeting, claiming and monitoring, office supplies, etc. Rural and self-preparation sites are reimbursed at higher administrative rates because of labor costs, transportation costs, and higher food costs. Let's say you are planning 100 lunches at an urban vended site. You would multiply 100 lunches by $3.14 for operation costs, giving you $314. You would then multiply the same 100 lunches by 27.25 cents for administrative costs, giving you $27.25. Your combined reimbursement for the entire lunch meal service at this site would be $341.25. Remember, it is imperative to maintain complete records to document all costs and meals claimed for reimbursement. Inadequate, missing, and/or incorrect documentation is a leading cause for meals to be determined non-reimbursable when TDA conducts an administrative review of a program. Go to summerfood.org for additional resources that include program policies and clarifications, the USDA publications, 2013 Administrative Guide for Sponsors, and the 2013 Nutrition Guidance for Sponsors, and training opportunities and administrative information and forums. The USDA website at fns.usda.gov/cnd/summer has other resources, including the helpful USDA Outreach Toolkit. As a reminder, although the USDA considers organizations that participate in the program as sponsors, TDA refers to them as contracting entities or CEs to reflect the contracting relationship necessary to operate the program. TDA can be reached for assistance and support through various avenues. For applications and contract changes, call 1-877-TEX-MEAL or 1-877-839-6325 or email sfsp.bops@texasagriculture.gov to be directed to the appropriate contact. For other program-related issues or concerns, you may contact your regional office at one of the numbers listed. For training-related questions, please call 512-475-0586. Crystal Lloyd is the SFSP program contact. She can be reached at 512-463-8869 or crystal.lloyd@texasagriculture.gov. You've completed the first Summer Food Service Program online training module. You will need to complete 3 additional online training modules and a live instruction-led training. Remember, this training does not cover the entire program. It is your duty to make sure you know and understand all program rules and requirements. To help you, USDA has created program guidance. TDA provides links to the USDA guidance and additional program information through posts on summerfood.org website. The Texas Department of Agriculture's Food and Nutrition is funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food and Nutrition Services. In accordance with federal law and the United States Department of Agriculture policy, this institution is prohibited from discriminating on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, age, or disability. To file a complaint of discrimination, write USDA, Director, Office of Adjudication, 1400 Independence Avenue, Southwest, Washington, D.C., 20250-9410 or call toll-free 866-632-9992. Individuals who are hearing impaired or have speech disabilities may contact USDA through the Federal